about that part. Now we will come to this main point. Okay, this const state and dispatch. Okay, and use reducer. So like how you create, and now what we need to do, we need to increment this one and check the decrement also. So now, like what we have did here, welcome to BitByBit-Code channel. In this today video, we'll be learning about the useReducer, mastering React state, the power of useReducer, the comprehensive guide to managing complex state in React applications. So basically, why we need to use the reducer and when to when we need to use the. So useReducer is the one of the biggest hook, and it is the advanced version of the state, you can say. So basically, why we need to use the reducer hook in the sense, like whenever you're having big applications at that time, the lot of complex things will be there, and at the time we cannot manage all the data of the user separately. Like suppose if you're filling a government application, at that time you will not means you cannot store each of the following data in a separate state, like age, phone number or something at that time. So instead of storing separately in a separate state, so we can manage them as a globally and centrally, we can say. So this is it will become little bit easier and simplicity. Now introducing use reducer, a centralized solution. Like what it is, a React hook that provides an alternate to use state for managing complex state logic in a more organized way. Okay, and then when we need to use that multiple sub values to update in a same state, next state depends on the previous state, complex event handling logic. Why it matters? Centralized state logic, making it easier to understand, test, and maintains as your application scale. So here I had told you, whenever we are we're having the big applications, at the time instead of storing separately in a state, so what we need to do, we need to store inside in a like on object and store them like in a one organized in a central way. Now how use reducer works, the core concept, you need to understand why we need to use, like how it the structure of use reducer. Then we will move to the VS Code. Now, useReducer function contains the logic of state transitions, and then initial state starting value. Okay, means we need to provide an initial state, and the third one is the state and dispatch, current state and function to update it. Now we are having one new thing that is called dispatch. So now we will understand dispatch also. Before that, we will understand the definition of useReducer. Okay, the useReducer function, the heart of logic, like what it does, the useReducer function is a pure JavaScript function that determines how state changes based on the action received. Means it is saying that on what type of action. Suppose if you have entered, if you're typing on your keyboard, when you have typed one, why only one it is displaying instead of two, right? So means something it is there that is telling it to print one only. The same way is here, it is telling that one action is received, based on that action it is going to provide the output also. And here in this in this previous one, you can see the signature. In this one is the current state, another one is the action, and one new state. So we'll if you are new to the React, then you will not understand properly. So watch the complete video, you will understand. Okay, now this is one another thing. So now we will move to the VS Code and understand how it works and what are the things we need to learn. First, we will understand we are having some new few things, and here you can see that action is also there. So action, dispatch. So all are like what are these things, and we will understand one by one them. Now we have started the VS Code, and I have created a small introduction to the useReducer. So useReducer is a hook in used to managing complex state logic in functional component. It is a alternate to the use state when state is having complex related values or complex update. So you can just pause this video and you can just like take down this one, or else you can just read the definition so that you can understand. So this one is a definition of this one. And the second thing, this one, this is a syntax. So here you can see that const state comma dispatch and use reducer, one reducer and initial state. So we will see it later. And now we will understand what is here reducer. So here one reducer, this one reducer is one function, okay, and inside this function what we are doing here, we are going to provide action type, okay. Now what is this action also we need to understand, and here based on this action only it is going to increment or decrement. Okay, and I think you're not going to understand by seeing this code. So, like, I will just explain a few of the things. Then later we will move to the coding part, and I will tell you one by one. So then, what is the initial state? Here we have added two things. One is the reducer, and the other one is the initial state. So reducer is actually one function, and the initial state is a object. So inside this object, what we're going to do, we are going to store all the data that we are providing in the code. Okay, I think you have understood up to that. And after that, now dispatch function. Okay, dispatch function is a function used to send actions to the reducer. It means here, now this dispatch, what it is doing here. Okay, now dispatch, what it will do, like it will be telling like to this action, like what type of action it need to be done. Here you can see one example, dispatch is to type is to increment. So when type is to increment, so action dot type is to, this one will be updated. So action dot type will be updated there. Okay, then now we are having when to use the reducer, and you can also like later we can understand all these things. And when to use the use reducer, use reducer when state logic is complex, state is having multiple subvalues, state changes depends on previous state. So all these things are important, and I kindly request you all to, like, whenever you are learning this advanced things, at the time make sure that you are taking down the notes or writing in your like whatever you have understood, make sure that write in your own words so that it will be helpful for you. Okay, now we will move to the VS Code, and we will start the coding part. I will write RFCE. So RFCE, what it is, it will do, it will create the functional component. Okay, functional component, and then next to here we are having two things. Okay, first what we need to do, we need to create two things, const, okay, const state, okay, state, comma, dispatch. Okay, I'm not getting any options, so that's fine. Options, dispatch is to use reducer, okay, and okay, counter and initial count. Okay, I don't take this one, so I will write my previous things that I have already written in this notes. Reducer, okay, and then another one, what is one, that was initial state, initial state, that's it. And you can see now I haven't written anything, but this reducer is like understanding as a function. So I think you have like though you, if you are writing the code, automatically whenever we are writing the function, at the time it will be receiving something like this. So already we are having the same function, so I will rename this one. Okay, so, or else I will make it as a small reducer. Later we will create the function. Okay, now here we need to create the object const initial state is to one object, and inside this object what I will do, count, okay, count is to 0. Okay, and I think it's enough for first example. Later in the second example, I will tell you two examples in this video so that you can understand. And then function reducer, okay, state, comma, action. Okay, now function has been created. Inside that state and action, two parameters we have created. And inside this one, I will create the switch statements. I think you are aware. So here I'm getting the little bit correct this one extension. So, but anyhow, I don't take that. Action dot type. Okay, somehow I have got, that's fine. I will. Okay. Now what happened in this one function is there, and inside this function what we have created, we have created one state and action. And inside that function we have created one switch statement. Based on that statement, like action.type, whenever we are clicking on the button, so it is going to trigger. So at the time it is going to tell that what type of thing it need to be done. Okay, and here, okay, instead of this one, okay, that's fine. Increment and decrement. Now state dispatch reducer. So everything is okay up to here. Everything we have, whatever we have created, everything is fine perfectly. It's it will work. And then next, now I will create one h2 so that I can display this one count. Okay, count, this one state dot count. Okay, state dot count. And the second thing we required button, and like uh, I will take this one increment. Okay, increment. And here on click, one event need to be happen here. Like here on, I'm calling one callback function, and inside this callback function I'm going to write dispatch. Okay, that dispatch. And here type also we need to write. Okay, type is to increment. And then next, create on another button. And okay, I will copy the same thing. And then decrement, copy this one, paste here, and here also decrement. And one h1 hello world. Okay, I'm just writing so that it will like it is working or printing or not. Fine. And then later, after everything is done, call that reducer here. Okay, we will get the auto suggestion. If you are not getting, then pass this one path properly. Don't this path may be different from me and you. So make sure that your path should be correct, or else it will never get execute, and you'll get the errors. Okay, and okay, cd, then npm random. I have started this one, and now we will see okay, it's working perfectly. And now what we need to do, we need to increment this one and check the decrement also. So now, like what we have did here, we have created this one, and you can see there is no errors and inside this one. So this is how it works about the useReducer. Okay, if you want, I can still open this one code and show you how it works. Okay, from if you're not knowing how to use, I will explain once again. Okay, so here one is the import React use reducer from React. So you need to import this one, and then okay, now to this part. Now just forgot that part. Now we will come to this main point. Okay, this const state and dispatch. Okay, and use reducer. So like how you create the state, like that you need to create this one also. But in this one, instead of here, we it will receives two things. One is the function and the second one is the object. So what we need to do in the sense of, we need to first one we need to write the function, and the second one we need to write the object, so that whenever the function is being called here, whenever the dispatch is being triggered, at the time it will go to the reducer. So reducer is a function. So inside this function it will search for the action dot type. Okay, here we have written this type, right? So this type will be uh, going inside this action dot type. So in which case, what is that means, in this one case increment, so return count is to state dot count plus one. Okay, if you have learned this one, then definitely you can learn uh, the advanced topics also. So this is the one of the advanced topic. And next topic is the redux. That is also one of the important. So redux and use reducer both are the important, and little bit same, both are same. But in that in this one, later we will learn. So okay, but up to this one reducer, so I had told you how it works. One object and one function. inside this function one switch statement is there, that is telling that like what it needs to be done next. And this one is a normal function. I think you know how to use the like how to call the function. And then this button, inside this button on click is a event handler, and inside this event handler on dispatch function is there. Okay, just if you are not, if you want to know something about this one, just hover on that, it you will get the details. Okay, and here I am getting the details also. You can see this one use reducer is a casually like preferable use state when you have complex state logic. So it is still you can say you are having three ways to store the data. One is the normal use state while learning, and the second one is the reducer for the middle level application, and advanced level applications for that redux. So redux and redux toolkit both are little bit same, so we'll be learning that also in the future. Now we have completed the first example. Now we'll go with the second example. Okay, a second example will be okay. I will do one thing. I will give one another example that will be little bit easy to understand you. Okay, okay, we will create one form, and inside that form we will try to add the user data. Okay, so okay, I will create the first here const. Okay, const data, comma. Okay, use dispatch, then use reducer. Okay, it has been auto imported. Then after that, okay, I will create one function, something as okay, new user. Okay, new user, and then like the existing one also we need to take, right? So for that I will take as user. So up to these things everything is fine. So I need to make sure that we are going to store the data object where we will I will write first const user. Okay, inside this user I will add the name as empty. Then password I will take password. Okay, I think this is enough. If you want you can add still more. Const. Okay, now that call that function new user, const new user. I'm writing this one as a arrow function. Okay, and inside this arrow function you can write like this also, or else you can use the normal function. So inside this one state. Okay, state comma action. We require two things, one is the state and the second one is the action. And here return. Okay, and inside this return what I will do, I will use the spread operator. So spread operator, what it will do, it will like a copy of the previous one. So what it will do means it is a one of the, if you are not aware of deep shallow copy and deep copy, so you need to learn this one, shallow copy and deep copy. In this one we are having the spread operator where it will like clone the previous data and it will store for the new one. So then what I will do, okay, action. Okay, action dot type. Okay, instead of there what we have did inside the switch statement we have written. So here instead of that I will directly write inside the, okay, return statement action. Okay, okay, action dot value. Okay, this value we need to be written inside the due statement. Okay, so I will explain once again. Listen carefully. Like this one is a const user is to object. Okay, this object we have created properly. Then second one is the function, arrow function. Inside this function I have created state and action. And in the previous video we have seen that inside the switch statement we have written action dot type, right? And here instead of like a switch statement we are directly writing the return statement. So how we can write, so I'm using the return keyword, then curly braces, then inside this one triple dot dot state. So basically triple dot state, what it will do, it will copy of a this object and store inside that itself. And then action dot type, what it will do, like whatever the value we are providing, so based on that action will be stored. So we will okay, up to this part you can forward now, and later I will explain once again. Okay, inside this div I will add one input. Okay, input type text name id. Okay, I've got the auto suggestions, that's fine, but I don't require this name and id for currently. On change. Okay, and inside this on change what I will do, I will add the one callback function use dispatch. Okay, now inside this dispatch, I will add the val. Okay, this value will be stored here. This value you can see, right? So this value will be stored there. Value is to e dot target dot value. Okay, e dot target dot value, what it will do, like whatever the inside the input you are going to write, that will be stored. Okay, and we need to write the type also here, so that like for which type we are writing, right? We are writing for this one for a name. Okay, name, and then here the next one I will copy this entire thing. Okay, and then I will add one br so that it will look little bit jumbled. Okay, and here also everything is same, and here instead of name I will add this password. Okay, and I will add this password. After adding here also, I need to add the password so that we can hide pass- password. Okay, and then okay, and I will add one hello world. Okay, hello world, and then okay, now everything is fine. Now we need to display the data, right? So for that I will create one paragraph. Inside this paragraph I will write the name. Okay, name. Inside this name what I will do, data. Okay, well, like whatever you have written here, call that particular variable. Okay, data dot name. Okay, data dot name, and same as for this one also, uh data dot password. Okay, password. Okay, now everything is fine. I have saved this one, and you can just pause this video and have a look for this one once, and later you can go through it. Okay, now I will refresh this page, and here I will add something as random names as a John. Okay, and then password as 123. So you can see that like whatever I'm writing, that is printing properly here, and it is been printing on the screen. So on change, what it will do, like whenever the change is happening on the screen, so each and every type of your press on keyboard, so that will be displayed here. If you see, I'm typing something, each and every word is displaying on each and every key press. So you can see that like how it works, and how it executes. So learn this useReducer properly, so that in the upcoming video you can understand the like Redux topic also. Thanks for watching the video.